What's good, YouTube? Today I spent 4 hours fixing something that came with the latest Hyprland update and was actually announced a couple of weeks ago. When you look at this article here, it's called Luaification of Hyprland configs, and this is written by the author Vaxry. The author of Hyprland, I believe. And it just says that the old syntax is ugly and they're moving on to use Lua for the configuration files. And fear not, for now, Lua is optional. You can still use .conf files, you don't have to. But this is only true for, let me see, yeah. for the next 1 or 2 releases after 0.55. So very soon, the .conf files will not be supported anymore, and then you will run in trouble. And since I spent 4 hours today fixing this, and the problems that came with the latest update, I thought I made a little video and show you what my problems were and how I fixed them, so you don't have to spend that much time for your migration. So what happened today was I updated Hyprland and HyperShell, which I made a video about also last year, I believe. And Hyprland itself wasn't even the problem, it didn't even moan about it. But I received this error message right here from HyperShell. Then I googled the error message and I found that there's an issue on the GitHub page of HyperShell. I'll make this a little bit bigger, where people go back and forth. Vars has the same problem as I have, because at some point he says, I just made an arbitrary edit to the Hyprland config, and when I save, I now get failed to configure window manager, etc, etc. And I don't really understand what they're talking about. He says it seems like you need the Lua config manager. I don't know what is the Lua config manager. Have you migrated your config to Lua yet? I didn't know that they were referring to this one right here. I didn't know that was a really breaking change in Hyprland. And so I just wait a minute, guys. And threw myself in here, just reposted the same error message. And then they told me about the recent changes. So props to Gemma Barris and Hermit. I do believe it's Hermit, right? The author of HyperShell. They explain everything to me. So I have to migrate my .conf files to the latest Lua configuration. And I'm just going to go with you through the things that I struggled with most. And I'm not even done with everything yet. So there might be a part 2 of this video. But anyways, so here's how I started migrating from the old .conf files, which are obsolete very soon, to Lua configuration files. So I'm now in my Hyprland configuration, and the first thing I did was not the Hyprland, it's important. I did not do the migration of the Hyprland.lua first. It was the last thing I did. The first thing I did, I just looked for all the .conf files, all of them in my configuration, then I put them in the quick fix window, and then I copy all of these, and eventually I put them to my Rome. And in Rome you see that all these files are listed, and I just go through them bit by bit after I migrated all of these. And I'm just going to go now through the most interesting parts to migrate to. And I would literally just go ahead and create a Lua file for each config file. So for example, I would have a user configs directory here in my configuration. And then you see environment variables.conf, and now I have a .lua file. And also what we see is when we go to the startup_apps.conf, that we're using here the home environment variable. And this is not working anymore in Lua. What you have to do in Lua, you have to go and create a home local that goes of get environment home, etc. And then use it with the Lua syntax that you know from NeoVim, for example, right? So you go home, ... to concatenate the string, and so on and so forth. The other thing I struggled with a little bit was exec once, as you find it in your startups. Where is it? .conf, yeah. This one, for example, systemctl user, whatever you want to start when Hyprland is booting up, doesn't exist anymore. What you have to do now, again, is you have to do something else, which is you hack yourself into the on Hyprland start event and then perform a hyprland.exec command with all the stuff you used exec-once for, right? You just put it in right here. And the last thing for now is that any action that you'd like to perform on the currently active window has changed also a little bit. So for example, there was a command before that goes kill active, and that would just then destroy your active window if you bind this to a key, as you find it here in the old-fashioned .conf way. But this doesn't exist anymore. What you have to do, you have to use the hl.dsp object. I do believe it's an object. And then from there on, go into the window object. And then instead of kill active, you would have a window close or window, I think it's even kill does exist also. A good website on this specific object right here is this one. I will, of course, put this into the description of the video, and maybe I will even write a little article about that I'm also going to put into description. Anyways, like this link right here, boom, contains everything that you want or might want to do with a window. Close, kill, signal, float, full screen with the action toggle. I have this actually in my configuration. Action. There we go. DSP window full screen action toggle. So if I now hit Windows, which is my main mod, if I now hit Windows F, it's going to toggle, and then it's going to toggle back into full screen. So you would use it like this, which is a little bit different to the way we did it before. And you even see my helpless poor animal here try to try it around with kill active, whatever. Didn't work this way, did work this way. So you might want to dig into that a little bit further too. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. So for example, when I go to monitors, before it looked like this, monitor preferred, like I really didn't like the syntax though. Like it's not like you look at it and then you know what's going on. You have to always count, okay, like how many commas do we have here and like all that stuff. I think it's a good move that they moved to Lua. Anyways, when I now go to the monitors Lua migration that I did, I have now, where is it? Yeah, this one, for example, right? This is my monitor at home, like this one right now. And it looks a little bit better, and I think anyone can understand this. If you manage to install and configure your Hyprland so far, then you're gonna understand how this is working. And also, when we go back to the Hyprland configuration wiki, they have here configuring, start here, and depending on where you are right now, where are we? Version selector, we are at 55. I go again, configuring, start here. You see, I did this quite a bit. So anyways, once you're here, then you see you have an example config here. And then we find the GitHub page of Hyper Window Manager Hyprland, boom, boom, boom. And then you find also plenty of examples and links on how to do stuff. This helped me out as well. Again, I will put this link also in the description. And yeah, you see plenty of examples. Things I didn't migrate so far have been most and foremost window rules, not working properly so far. What else? And the animations. I feel like the syntax of these look a little bit different than what I find like here, those ones. Yeah, might be just me, but yeah, this is my state of affairs so far. And again, the last thing that you want to do is you want to go and Hyprland Lua. Let me close the rest. Migrate your hyperland.conf file to .lua. This is the last thing, because in the moment you put in hyperland.lua into the config hyper directory, in that moment, it's going to take the Lua file and everything you did, and you're going to break everything the very first time, I promise you. So make sure to migrate all the other files and then migrate the hyperland.lua. So before I forget, when you finally, as a last file, migrate from your Hyprland conf to Hyprland Lua, be aware that the file path is handled a little bit differently. Before, we actually built the paths with the environment variables from the system, like home, for example, and then actually build the path and use the path to source our files. We don't need to do this in Lua anymore. We can just construct the file path the Lua way. So just as a reference, what you see right here is that I require configs settings. So there's a settings.lua file, settings.lua file, and it's in the configs directory. And you see it a little bit clearer when I go to the file tree. And then you see that I have two folders inside my hyper configuration directory that goes user configs, where I have Lua files, right? Whoopsies. And the other folder is configs, where also Lua files. And this is what we find in the configuration, just right here. So you don't have to mingle around with building file paths or something. You don't have to do this. Just go from the root directory downwards and you're going to be able to source the files properly. And the last thing worth mentioning, I believe, is that when you read the article of the guy, then he says Hyper Tools, that one. Hyper Tools will for now continue using Hyprlang as their config language provider. So, this is a little bit, you know, like you have to read this article to understand that Hyprlang is only dropped for the Hyprland entry point, so to speak. When you have something like hyperidle and hyperlog and hyperpaper, all this stuff still uses the .conf file. So no Lua migration here, as it seems. At least I didn't touch those files and it still works. So yeah, I think I'm just waiting until those break too. And just for the record here, my configuration that you see right here is public, so you can navigate through all the commits I'm doing over the next couple days to fix everything and to get some inspiration if you struggle with some parts of your configuration. So that being said, I do believe that's a great time to end the video. And I wish you all a lovely, what is that, Thursday today? Like, you know, when you don't have a job, it's like everything. Like not having a job and working just all the time has the same effect on dates and everything. So for example, in Germany, there's a holiday today, Männertag. And I didn't even know. My mama wished me all the best for being a man. And I saw this on my WhatsApp and it's like, oh, interesting. So, to all of you, great week. Bye-bye.